Honorable CMD Sir, Shri Atul Bhatt, Director Finance, Shri VV Venugopal Rao Sir, Director Project, Shri KK Ghosh Sir, Director Operation, Shri AK Saxena Sir, CVO, Shri KV Nagi Reddy Sir, Senior Commandant CISF, Shri Nilesh Kumar Sir, CGMs, representatives from various unions and associations present in the House and on virtual platform, those who are connected with us, most probably DC and DP, Shri DK Mahanti Sir is connected with us virtually, CGMs, HODs and all the senior officials and workers who are connected with us virtually over Zoom, Twitter, eLive event and RINL Dugdugi app. आप सभी को मेरा सादर प्रणाम. A warm and hearty welcome to all of you. नया साल है, पुराना ख्याल है. नया साल है, पुराना ख्याल है. It's a new year, but the same old intent. नई उम्मीदों का बुना एक माया जाल है. There are some new hopes. नया सफ़र है, पुराना साथ है. जी हाँ, नया सफ़र है, पुराना साथ है. The journey is new, but our connection, that's old. बीते साल की अधूरी चाहतों की, बीते साल की अधूरी चाहतों की एक नई शुरुआत है. नई उमंग से भरा ये नया साल है. So here is our renewed josh, renewed energy to reach, as our Honorable CMD Sir says, to reach greater heights. Let's have an energy check. How's the josh, sir and ma'am? I hope it's high, very, very high. Once again, I wish you all, on behalf of CC Department, Corporate Communication Department, a very warm and happy, healthy, prosperous New Year 2022. I would now request Shri Shukla from Hospitality Department to take over the cake cutting event. Thank you, Priya ma'am and Naren sir from CSM department to give the annual performance presentation of RINL. Ma'am, sir, please.
Respected CMD, Directors, CVO, Senior Commandant CISF, Chief General Managers, Heads of Departments, Representatives of C, Unions, OBC Association, SC/ST Association, VIPs and all my senior colleagues. Happy New Year and warmest greetings as we begin the year 2022. As new beginnings present themselves to us, let's reflect on the year gone by learning from it and carrying forward with us the lessons learned. The year 2021 can be summarized as the year that brought both fright and reassurance as the world witnessed adversities on one hand and started steadily returning to normal despite continued uncertainties on the other hand. The year witnessed a traumatic phase with the onslaught of Delta variant in the second wave of COVID-19, which engulfed the entire country and the world. Let's take a moment to remember all our colleagues we lost to the COVID fury. While the world grappled to absorb the magnitude of the pandemic, reassurance came in the form of collaborative global efforts for development of corona vaccine. The world has never made and distributed a vaccine for a disease faster than it did for COVID-19. The fact that we have not one but 21 vaccines rolled out worldwide is miraculous. Also, more than 8.81 billion vaccines have been administered globally, which has proven very crucial in battling the pandemic. Let's give a big salute to the corona warriors and to the power of global cooperation and innovation. It's never been clearer that tackling big problems requires people working together across borders and sectors. 2021 was full of events with global repercussions, including apparent indications of climate change. Record drought wrecked the American Southwest. Record flooding devastated Belgium and Western Germany. Epic wildfires tore through Greece. Late season monsoons ravaged India and Nepal. On the positive side, in COP26 UN Climate Change Conference, nations agreed to limit rise in global average temperature to 1.5 degrees. Developed countries pledged $100 billion annually to developing countries, and the Paris Agreement rulebook was finalized. In March 2021, a massive cargo ship, Ever Given, completely blocked the Suez Canal for a week, a vital trade passageway for nearly 12% of the world's seaborne trade. The blockage led to significant disruptions to global trade, skyrocketing shipping rates, increase of energy commodities, and an uptick in global inflation. The shortage of semiconductor chips, particularly those used in gaming consoles and cars, hit companies around the world. Despite this turbulence, 2021 proved to be a strong year for international trade. Global trade is expected to reach about $28 trillion in 2021, a growth of 23% over 2020 and 11% over pre-pandemic levels. Space tourism took a giant leap in 2021. SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic each flew their first tourist-focused missions this year. NASA's rover Perseverance converted sample of Mars's thin carbon dioxide-rich atmosphere into oxygen. 2021 also brought a flurry of technological breakthroughs. Iceland has opened world's largest facility to take carbon dioxide out of the air. The sales of electric vehicles have outpaced the diesel cars in Europe. At 2020 Tokyo Olympics, India scripted history with a record medal haul of 1 gold, 2 silver and 4 bronze. And these sportspersons lifted the nation's spirits through their stupendous and historic performances. The COVID-19 pandemic dealt a severe blow to the Indian economy. In 2021-22, Indian economy looks back on the growth path with a V-shaped recovery and a year-on-year growth of 20.1% in Q1 and 8.4% in Q2. The uptick was mainly driven by 30% growth in manufacturing and 23% growth in construction sector in H1. The GDP in Q2 stood at Rs 35.73 lakh crores and surpassed the pre-COVID level with a growth of 0.33%, owing to factors like decline in infections, increased pace of vaccination, higher public spending, and higher private consumption. Global crude steel production witnessed 14.4% growth from Jan to June, which tapered down to 2.9% by December, owing to production cuts in China to the tune of 4.3%. Rest of the world, excluding China, grew by 12.4%. India posted the greatest gains among the top 10 in steel output, up 17.5% over previous year and 5.8% growth over pre-pandemic levels. Finished steel consumption in India grew by 22% and has almost reached the pre-pandemic level. Longs consumption in India grew by 24% and exceeded the pre-pandemic level by 4.5%. Flats consumption in India grew by 19% and still is falling short of the pre-pandemic level by 6.2%. Further recovery in demand is expected as both construction and manufacturing sectors are yet to reach the pre-pandemic level. Coming to the production highlights during April to December 2021, we registered best ever performances with 4.43 million ton of hot metal production, a growth of 47%. Best ever liquid steel production with a growth of 47%, and best ever saleable steel production with a growth of 44% over CPLY. Kudos to the Works Collective. There was 43% improvement in gross sinter production, 47% in wagon tippling, and 19% in power generation. There was significant growth in production in mills with 73% growth in billets production, 97% in bars production, 119% in SPM, 48% in WRM1, 34% in WRM2, 102% in MMSM, and 125% in STM production. All praises to the Mills Collective. 50% improvement was registered in oven pushings, 49% in heats per day, 84% in heats per day in SMS1, and 24% in heats per day in SMS2. Moving on to sales highlights during the year, we registered best ever sales turnover of Rs 19,370 crores, a growth of 69% over CPLY. Best ever sales volume of 3.73 million ton, a growth of 21% over CPLY. And best ever exports value of 4,346 crores, a growth of 40%. RINL has been upgraded from 3-star to 4-star export house by Ministry of Commerce. Kudos to the Marketing Collective. 36% growth was registered in domestic sales, 55% in byproduct sales, 21% in value-added steel sales, 127% in project segment sales, 55% in sales of TMT, 86% in sales of structurals, and 25% in sales of rounds. Projects highlights during the year include commissioning of forged wheel plant in September and dispatch of first consignment of 51 forged wheels to Indian Railways in December. Kudos to the Projects Collective. During the year, put its efforts to reduce cost and ease cash crunch, such as Rs 20 crores saving through chartering of Cape-size vessels, enhancement of credit period with long-term suppliers, exploration of options in arranging for cheaper raw materials from existing and new suppliers for further cost reduction. Keeping Government of India priorities in view, 618 contracts with a value of Rs 1243 crores was placed through GEM portal. RINL is ranked 3rd among top CPSE buyers on GEM. Realization of Rs 16 crores through disposal of scrap and reduction of non-moving inventory by Rs 4.6 crores. HR highlights during the year include introduction of new policies like Learning and Development Policy, RINL Mentoring Policy, and Policy on Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal of Sexual Harassment of Employees at Workplace. Creation of a dedicated cell Seva to cater to the needs of retired and retiring employees. Creation of an exclusive jumbo COVID care facility with a capacity of 520 beds to handle the COVID crisis. VSGH was recognized with a 5-star rating among AP-notified COVID care hospitals and stood at first place in the district and second among the state for its outstanding healthcare services during the COVID crisis. And introduction of online generation of credit letters for CT and MRI for reduction of cycle time. Moving on to finance highlights. In current times of liquidity crunch, F&A department explored various ways to arrange funding of imported raw materials at competitive interest rates, like avail buyer's credit limit backed by standby letter of credit resulted in interest savings of Rs 5.83 crores. Followed up with SBI for arranging non-fund-based LC sublimit of Rs 1,000 crores to facilitate opening of LC for ICC procurement. Followed up with IDBI and arranged for rollover of existing buyer's credit outstanding for an additional period of 180 days. Availed export parking credit facility from SBI for Rs 300 crores, which will result in annual interest savings of Rs 5.85 crores. close monitoring and better implementation of GST provisions resulted in availment of input tax credit of Rs 1226 crores till November at the rate of Rs 153 crores per month, and internal audit facilitated in financial recoveries of Rs 18.48 crores. To summarize, in 2021-22 H1, we made best ever H1 profit of Rs 1008 crores. However, in Q3, nearly half of the gains made in H1 were eroded due to the loss of 400 crores. From April to December 21, we now have a net profit of Rs 600 crores. The landed cost of international coking coal increased by Rs 14,855 per ton from Q1 to Q3. In the same period, NSR of saleable steel increased by just Rs 4,563 per ton. This created a cost impact of Rs 11,100 per ton in November as compared to Q1. Lower volumes in Q3 also impacted the performance. We achieved saleable steel production of 1.23 million ton in Q1, which is best ever since inception. 1.38 million ton in Q2, which is also best ever Q2 since inception. And 1.27 million ton in Q3, which is marginally lower than best ever Q3. We need to pick up momentum in Q4 and reorient ourselves, reorient our strategies, and reorient our efforts to make the performance of fourth quarter the best Q4 for RINL by producing 1.68 million ton of hot metal, 1.65 million ton of liquid steel, 1.46 million ton of saleable steel, and achieve sales volume of 1.54 million ton. The production targets are on par with our last year's Q4 performance. As we know, our organization is at a very pivotal point. And at this juncture, consistency will be of paramount importance. It is said that consistency transforms average into excellent. Consistency in sales performance would ensure much needed relief to cash flows. Consistency in production performance would enable us in meeting the market requirements more confidently. Let's be consistent on meeting our targets today and every day, and finish the year 2021-22 with a positive bottom line and best ever annual production and sales performance. Thank you.
That was an enlightening presentation. After witnessing the presentation and coupled with the occasion of New Year, I would like to share a few famous lines. जावेद अख्तर साहब की चंद पंक्तियां शेयर करना चाहूँगी। दिलों में बेताबियां लेकर चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम। दिलों में बेताबियां तुम लेकर चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम। नज़र में ख्वाबों की बिजलियां लिए चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम। If you have the childlike innocence, the childlike inquisitiveness to run, fly, explore, grow, then you are alive. If you have hopes, dreams, desires in your eyes, you are alive. हवा के झोंकों के जैसे, हवा के झोंकों के जैसे तुम आज़ाद रहना सीखो। तुम एक दरिया के जैसे, तुम एक दरिया के जैसे लहरों में बहना सीखो। Learn to fly freely, learn to flow freely. हर एक लम्हे से तुम मिलो, हर एक लम्हे से तुम मिलो, अपनी बाहें खोले. Welcome every opportunity with open arms, with open mindset and with a keen eye. हर एक पल एक नया सपना देखे एक ये निगाहें. दिलों में तुम अपनी बेताबियां लिए चल रहे हो, दिलों में तुम अपनी बेताबियां लिए चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम. नज़र में ख्वाबों की बिजलियां लिए चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम. So yes, we need to have hopes, dreams, desires and commitment. We carried in our hearts fire, determination and hope in the year 2021. We carry all this and more into the year 2022. RINL Collective has shown resilience on the face of adversity time and again, and 2021 was a test for the entire nation. The first ever oxygen express of the nation was flagged off from Visakhapatnam, and RINL has proudly contributed more than 18,000 tons of liquid medical oxygen to far-flung areas of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Not only that, but we also established jumbo COVID care facility in record 1 month time. We also undertook a massive COVID vaccination drive. Despite the challenging business environment, RINL Collective took a pledge to dedicate themselves with renewed commitment towards improving internal efficiencies and enhancing productivity. Under the guidance of Honorable CMD Sir, we have pledged to take RINL towards greater heights. The events of the entire year 2021 has been well encapsulated in our annual newsletter, Ukkuvani. May I now request Honorable CMD Sir to inaugurate the annual issue of Ukkuvani. ज्ञान विज्ञान एवं समृद्धि से सजा भारत का इतिहास, शौर्य, आध्यात्म और कलाकारी से झलकता भारत का इतिहास. We have a rich history of knowledge, science, art, spirituality. It is this history that we are celebrating now, today. In 2022, India will complete its 75 years of independence, and in this regard, Government of India has taken up an initiative called Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to commemorate the glorious, the progressive 75 years of our independence and India's achievements. RINL has joined the nation in celebrating this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. In this regard, RINL has partnered with All India Radio, wherein every week quiz questions are asked and the winners are awarded with exciting prizes. Continuing this effort, we now request Honorable CMD Sir to inaugurate our green initiative. These are some plant pots with RINL logo and Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav logo embossed on them. I would now request CMD Sir to kindly inaugurate it. To virtually unveil the renovated administration building facade. That part of the session which we all have been eagerly waiting for. I now request Honorable CMD Sir to deliver his New Year address.
My colleague directors, Shri VV Venugopal Rao, Director Finance, Shri TK Mohanty, Director Commercial and Personal, Additional Charge, who is joining us from Delhi, Shri K.K. Ghosh, Director Projects, Shri A.K. Saxena, Director Operations, Shri K. Venkatagi Reddy, our CVO, Shri Nilesh Kumar, Senior Commandant, Chief General Managers, Heads of the Department, Senior Executives, representatives of the Steel Executive Association, member of the trade unions, representatives of the SC, ST and OBC associations, representatives from WIPs, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. At the outset, I, on behalf of RINL, wish you and your family members a very happy, safe and productive New Year. Today, RINL enters into another year of its operations with new hopes and renewed aspirations. Let us together pledge to make 2022 a memorable year for RINL. As we bid adieu to 2021, let us look at what we have achieved and our strengths so that we can build upon them. January to March quarter was the best quarter in the history of RINL with respect to production and sales. But then the dreaded second wave of pandemic hit and affected many of us. We lost many of our dear colleagues and friends during this period. However, the frontline workers, health workers, and COVID warriors showed extraordinary courage and rose to the occasion in minimizing the impact. I take this opportunity to thank all the COVID warriors, health workers, and frontline workers for showing their solidarity during this very difficult period. An aggressive campaign for vaccination for all eligible employees, their dependents, and contract workers was taken up. And I am happy to say that all the employees and contract workers have been vaccinated, save a few who have health issues. RINL has a history of converting challenges into opportunities, and we could achieve improvement in all areas of operations during the year. On the production front, ably led by our Director Operations, hot metal production crossed 6 million tons for the first time in any calendar year. We have achieved the best calendar year production figures for different units like sized ore preparation, average pushings per day, gross sinter production, average heats per day increased from 105 to 109 heats per day. Average heats per day in SMS2 improved by a huge 16%. Saleable steel production touched 5.35 million tons. Production of value-added steel registered a 22% improvement over the previous best. We have achieved liquid steel production of 5.85 million tons with an average heats of 109 heats per day in the calendar year 2021. It translates to about 94% utilization of 6.3 million tons per annum liquid steel capacity. To achieve the best quarter 4, we have to produce 123 heats per day, which is a daunting task, but I'm sure that we have the capabilities and motivation to achieve this. The year also saw RINL achieving another milestone in its efforts towards maintaining a leadership position in energy conservation. Complied PAT second cycle targets, and the Bureau of Energy Efficiency issued 1,29,907 energy saving certificates to RINL, which was among the highest issue to any company in the country. Specific energy consumption reduced from 6.39 gcals per ton cast steel till December 20 to 6.10 gcal per ton cast steel till December 21 and registered a reduction of 4.5% over previous year. RINL was awarded National Energy Leader consecutively for the second time by CII Godrej Green Business Center at Hyderabad. Now coming to the HR function, creation of a jumbo care facility with a capacity of 520 beds, 360 with central oxygen supply, and 160 isolation beds. This was created. VSGS was recognized with a 5-star rating among the state notified COVID care hospitals and stood first in the district and second in the state for its outstanding healthcare services during COVID crisis. I think we can be all proud of this fact. Many flagship programs could be undertaken under the CSR. Despite financial stress, which has benefited the society a lot, an amount of rupees 7 crores was spent this year in the areas of education, healthcare, skill development, rural development, and Swachh Bharat. Formation of a dedicated cell under the name RINL Seva to cater to the needs of retired and retiring employees. RINL bagged 1 Par Excellence and 2 Excellence Awards in the International Convention on Quality Control Circles ICQCC 2021. RLN Women bagged first prize in the All India Management Association Women's Quiz. I think they have all done us proud. Awarded the Rajbhasha Kirti Puruskar consecutively for 2 years, that is 2019-20 and 2020 by Government of India. I think our Rajbhasha has been a consistent and outstanding performer. So let us give them a big round of applause. Awarded the first prize in Hindi in-house magazine Sugandh for the year 1819. RANL won the Inter-Steel Chess Championship and Inter-Steel Badminton Championship in 2021. And under the able leadership of our director projects, we have made notable progress in our expansion and modernization programs. We commissioned the forged wheel plant. The commissioning activities of the forged wheel plant were completed and the first batch of wheels handed over to the railways. I think this is a big achievement. We can all be proud of this. As a strategic initiative, a BOF briquette and micro pellet plant is being set up on BOO basis to gainfully utilize the waste generated during steel making to produce 1.5 lakhs TPA of BOF briquettes bricks to steel melt shop 1 and 2 and 4 lakh ton TPA micro pellets to sinter plant 1 and 2, and construction of this plant is under progress. On the financial front, under the able leadership of our Director Finance, we arranged non-fund based LC limit of sub-limit of 1000 crores under the existing fund based working capital limits of 2050 crores of SBI to facilitate opening of LCs for coking coal procurement. We availed export packing credit facility from SBI for rupees 300 crores, which will result in annual interest savings of 5.85 crores. On a continuous and vigorous follow-up with the department, a total refund claim of rupees 34.15 crores was received towards compensation cess in proportion to zero rate sales for the year 2021 and Q1 of 21-22. RNL bagged the first prize national award under category Manufacturing Public Mega in cost management for excellence in cost management. I think let us give a big round of applause to our Director of Finance for this. Financial recoveries were made during the year to the tune of rupees 18.48 crores by conducting internal audits across the organization. Now, in the area of procurement and marketing as well, under the able leadership of our Director Commercial, in the area of procurement, we achieved a saving of rupees 20 crores in ocean freight charges by chartering Cape vessels instead of Panamax vessels. Transfer of 27,340 million tons of metric tons of coal cargo per day on 1/8/21 and average transfer rate of 19,636 metric ton per day in August 21 through conveyors from GPL are the highest since inception. RINL is ranked number 3 in the top CPSE buyers on the GEM portal. I think let's give a big round of applause to our procurement division. We saved about 212 crores by the usage of iron ore slimes of quantity of 8 lakh tons during the period April to 21, and we continue to increase our usage of slimes. We added 56 new vendors. Now, in the area of marketing, we have achieved a sales volume of 3.73 million tons as against the production of 3.88 million tons. The sales turnover of rupees 19,370 crores is a growth of 69% over the previous year. Since 2021, China has been our mainstay for exports. The rebar future price on the Shanghai Commodity Exchange increased continuously from a level of 3,400 yuan per ton in March 20 to nearly 6,000 yuan per ton in October 21. And to take advantage of this, we achieved an average export volume of about 120,000 tons per month during this period. Now, looking ahead, we should not rest on our laurels. We need to work even harder to sustain our position in the market. We should all focus on this quarter and try to achieve the best quarter's figures in all areas. For this, we need to focus on improving the coke oven pushings, metal production, and PCI. All the three are interdependent. Any inconsistency in any of these three will affect others. In the absence of buffer stocks, maintaining delicate balance and consistency in these areas, like we did in quarter 4 of last year, is very, very important. Our success in this regard is going to be the key determinant for our production performance in future. In order to achieve consistency in sales, we have to increase our actual user base, be it domestic or exports. In exports, our sales have been in semis through trade. We have to develop sales in finished steel to the actual users. By doing so, we could really leverage our shore-based location. Since we are facing tight liquidity position, we have to ensure that there is no accretion to stocks in any material. We also have to look for other of inventory reduction, such as steel, iron, maintenance, scrap, BFLD slag, CRMP returns, and various byproducts. The banks are reluctant to increase the sanctions, as our debt equity ratio has increased on account of losses since 15-16. On the other hand, coal suppliers are insisting on opening LCs before the shipment. The coal index had shot up in October 21, because of which the value of coal LCs to be opened has increased from a level of 300 to 400 crores per month to about 1000 to 1200 crores a month. This, coupled with a reduction in exports, is putting severe stress on our liquidity. Under the circumstances, all our efforts should be directed towards improvement in liquidity in the functional areas. We have to persuade our customers towards advance payment or LC payment terms. The overdue outstandings have to be pursued for liquidation at the earliest. With the increase in coal prices, the contribution margins are reducing. However, with the increase in the component of high value added steels, the contribution margin could be expanded further. We have to target to increase the high end value added sales to 30% of our total sales, total domestic sales, and this has to be pursued aggressively. On the cost sides, our initiative towards coal blend optimization are to be given further push. The trials for widening of the supplier base are to be expedited. The initiative taken to use MCC in the blend is good under the present circumstances of higher ICC prices and lower ash percentage in MCC. We have to expedite tie-up for PCC as well, so the cost can be further reduced. Our attempts for reducing the iron ore costs through the usage of iron ore slimes were effected during the monsoon period. We have to make up for the shortfall in the coming months. I am extremely confident that 2022 would be a very promising year for RINL. I call upon each one of you to rediscover your true potential and demonstrate your capabilities with utmost commitment and dedication. We need to orient ourselves to exhibit utmost discipline and work collectively, supplemented with an emotional attachment to propel the company on a continuous growth path. So let us pledge to make 2022 a memorable and turnaround year for RINL. Thank you very much.
Definitely, sir. We all stand committed, and thank you for your inspiring words. Now we have reached the last leg of this event, but before we conclude this session, I must show my sincere appreciation to the various departments and the collective who have made this event a success. My heartfelt thanks to Honorable CMD Sir, Directors and CVO. My sincere thanks to all the participants and the viewers who joined us virtually. I would like to thank IT department for providing the Zoom connectivity, hospitality department for the cake and food arrangements, general administration for the in-house arrangements, horticulture department for pots and potting, FMD and structural department for extending support in all our initiatives. And last but not the least, I would like to thank my team of Corporate Communication Department who have put up tremendous effort in putting up this event, especially for the nail-biting finish. Let me just chip in a bit of information here. The pots that stand there on your desk silently, sir, have traveled far from Muradabad to Vishakhapatnam. And they arrived this morning, 4 a.m. And our HOD had been tracking it continuously for the past 2 days. So here we have our green initiative, our facade and everything on this Happy New Year. I would like to wish you all once again a very happy, healthy, prosperous and productive New Year 2022. Thank you.
Welcome to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.